Chapter 3 of The American Housewife. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Ruth Golding. The American Housewife by Anonymous. Chapter 3. 35. Chicken Pie. Joint the chickens, which should be young and tender. Boil them in just sufficient water to cover them. When nearly tender, take them out of the liquor, and lay them in a deep pudding dish, lined with pie crust. To each layer of chicken, put 3 or 4 slices of pork. Add a little of the liquor in which they were boiled, and a couple of ounces of butter cut into small pieces. Sprinkle a little flour over the whole, cover it with nice pie crust, and ornament the top with some of your pastry. Bake it in a quick oven 1 hour. 36. Beef and Mutton Pie. Take tender meat, pound it out thin, and broil it 10 minutes. Then cut off the bony and gristly parts, season it highly with salt and pepper, butter it, and cut it into small pieces. Line a pudding dish with pastry, put in the meat, and to each layer add a teaspoonful of tomato catsup, together with a tablespoonful of water. Sprinkle over flour and cover it with pie crust, and ornament as you please with pastry. Cold roast or boiled beef and mutton make a good pie by cutting them into bits and seasoning them highly with salt and pepper. Put them into a pie dish, turn a little melted butter over them or gravy, and pour in water till you can just see it at the top. 37. Chicken and Veal Pot Pie. If the pie is to be made of chickens, joint them. Boil the meat until about half done. Take the meat out of the liquor in which it was boiled, and put it in a pot with a layer of crust to each layer of meat, having a layer of crust on the top. The meat should be seasoned with salt and pepper. Cover the whole with the boiled meat liquor. If you wish to have the crust brown, keep the pot covered with a heated bake pan lid. Keep a tea kettle of boiling water to turn in as the water boils away. Cold water makes the crust heavy. The crust for the pie is good like that made for fruit pies, with less shortening, but raised pie crust is generally preferred to any other. It is made in the following manner. Mix together 3 pints of flour, a teacup of melted butter, a teaspoonful of salt. Then turn in half a teacup of yeast. Add cold water to make it sufficiently stiff to roll out. Set it in a warm place to rise, which will take 7 or 8 hours, unless brewer's yeast is used. When risen, roll it out and cut it into small cakes. Potato pie crust is very nice. To make it, boil 8 or 9 small potatoes, peel and mash them fine, mix with them a piece of butter of the size of a hen's egg, a teaspoonful of salt, a tumbler full of milk, and flour to render it of the right consistency to roll out. When rolled out, cut them into cakes, and put them with the meat. If you happen to have unbaked wheat dough, very good crust may be made of it by working into it a little lukewarm melted butter. Let it remain, after you have rolled and cut it into cakes, about 10 or 15 minutes before putting it with the meat. 38. To frizzle beef. Take beef that is fresh smoked and tender. Shave it off thin, put it in a stew pan with water enough to cover it. Let it stew 10 or 15 minutes. 3 or 4 minutes before it is taken up, mix a little flour and water together, and stir in to thicken the water. Add a little butter and pepper. This makes a good dish for breakfast. Eggs are a nice accompaniment to it. 39. Warmed over meats. Boiled or roasted veal makes a nice dish, chopped fine and warmed up, with just sufficient water to moisten it, and a little butter, salt, and pepper added. A little nutmeg and the grated rind of a lemon improve it. None of the white part of the lemon should be used. When well heated through, take it up on a platter, and garnish it with a couple of lemons cut in slices. Fresh or corned beef is good minced fine with boiled potatoes, and warmed up with salt, pepper, and a little water. Add butter just before you take it up. Some people use the gravy that they have left the day before for the meat, but it is not as good when warmed over, and there is no need of its being wasted, as it can be clarified and used for other purposes. Boiled onions or turnips are good mixed with mince meat instead of potatoes. Veal, lamb, and mutton are good cut into small strips, and warmed with boiled potatoes cut in slices, pepper, salt, a little water. Add butter just before you take it up. Roast beef and mutton, if not previously cooked too much, are nice cut in slices, and just scorched on a gridiron. Meat, when warmed over, should be on the fire just long enough to get well heated through. If on the fire long, most of the juices of the meat will be extracted, and render it very indigestible. Cold fowls are nice jointed, and warmed with a little water, then taken up and fried in butter till brown. A little flour should be sprinkled on them before frying. Thicken the water that the fowls were warmed in, add a little salt, pepper, and butter, and turn it over the fowls. 40. A ragout of cold veal. Cut boiled or roasted veal in nice slices, flour and fry them in butter till a light brown, then take them up, and turn a little hot water into the butter they were fried in. Mix a little flour and water together, and stir it into the gravy. Season it with salt, pepper, nutmeg or catsup, and lemon juice. Put in the meat, and stew it till very hot. Stew 2 or 3 onions with it, if you like. End of Chapter 3.